So we have some pretty major updates when it comes to Xbox and Bethesda Showcase. An insider is talking about Xbox mandating that the studios have gameplay ready for this big event. And we also have the state of play that just dropped from Sony's PlayStation, where they announced some amazing games and also some shocking developments when it comes to them porting their games to the PC. Let's get into everything that's been talked about because there's a lot of leaks, a lot of things going on, and you know what? E3 season is completely kicking off in full force. Alright, so you know the drill. If you like the content, hit that subscribe button and that like button. And if you want to be notified on future content, hit that small little bell icon. And if you want to go that extra mile to support the channel, hit that join button. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about has to be this insider information from Jeff Grubb, who, if you don't know already, is one of the best journalists out there. He talks a lot about gaming, has his ear to the ground, and really just has his finger to the pulse of what developers and executives are really thinking and doing in the industry. And one of the biggest ones he knows about is Xbox. He talks about them extensively. And recently, he was in a podcast and was asked the question, what should we expect from Contraband and all the other studios at Xbox at this Xbox and Bethesda Showcase? Well, he actually took that question pretty serious and went into great detail. He talked about Contraband missing a couple milestones and how that was a pretty big headache for Xbox, and so he's not too sure if we're going to see any gameplay from that studio or that game at the showcase. Yet, what he also mentioned is that Xbox mandated that their studios, all of their studios, have some gameplay ready for this E3, and it wasn't a mandate that was brought up this year or a couple months ago. No, after their big E3 show last year, so a full year ago, Xbox told all of their studios, hey, we want to make this show even bigger. We want to make this show more exciting for gamers, and we want to give them what they really want, which is gameplay. We want to show them the games that we're actually working on and give them that exciting gameplay that they're craving. And that's exactly what the mandate was across all the studios they're working with. And Contraband, aka Avalanche Studios, was one of those developers that they told this to. So maybe, just maybe this year, in a couple weeks at this Xbox E3 show, we might get Contraband's gameplay. Now, Jeff Grubb did say we should temper that. He's a little split on it. He said that they might not be able to get gameplay out there just yet because this game feels a lot farther away than he thought. Now, most people might think, well, hasn't it been in development for a while? No, actually it hasn't. He said that some of the games that they might show have been in development since 2018, and Contraband isn't one of those. They've been in development for maybe the last two and a half years, so they have a little bit more time and in a more lenient space to get that gameplay out there. But the one game he did talk about is Avowed. He said that we should expect Avowed gameplay there. Now, that could change, of course, because this thing is very fluid, but he said Avowed, he wouldn't be surprised if it was there, especially since that game has been in development for quite some time, and Obsidian Entertainment are just amazing. They want to get their game out there, they want to get gameplay out there, and they want to show people what they're working on. And also, they take themselves very serious, so I expect to see Avowed there. And this has also been something that's been talked about by Jez Corden, who said that he's seen the gameplay from Avowed, and he said he thought it was going to show up at the Game Awards late last year with the Jeff Keighley Awards. So I'm not too sure when the Avowed's going to be shown. Even if the game does come out next year, which Jeff Grubb said that might happen, he still expects to see gameplay because that is a mandate that Xbox has put on all studios. Almost all of the studios had orders to get something ready so they could show gameplay at this year's event. Now, I'm not too sure if you know this, but that's something that RDX and a couple people that I know, including myself, have asked Xbox to do profusely. We've been wanting gameplay, not cinematic trailers. I understand that Redfall got a cinematic trailer. I understand that Starfield has been showing some gameplay here and there, but mostly artwork. At the end of the day, what gamers want is they want gameplay and they want it in front of their faces to see what the game is all about. That's what these big shows should all be about. Show us what you have, show us the gameplay, and if you got a couple other studios ready to show something, just show it. I want to see a couple games actually do this. If we get Avowed doing it, that would be cherry on top. But I want to see Starfield, I want to see Redfall, and I want extensive gameplay pieces from them. Even if it is about 2 to 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes of gameplay, and then you bring out a much bigger gameplay for other people to check out after the show. Something that's about 5 to 10 minutes long. That to me can give you a lot of marketing and can get a lot of hype surrounding your game. And that's something that Xbox needs to get right, honestly, because if they start showing Forza Motorsport, which is going to look insane on the next-gen consoles, that's going to build up hype for not only your Xbox, but for your ecosystem in general, because you know these games are going to be coming to PC. And that's what Xbox needs to do. They need to get the E3 type of events where it's hyped up and it's insane. They want to make it a big showcase with not only games, but gameplay attached to their show. And that is something that has been criticized about them for a very, very long time. And I'm glad they're actually starting to do this because, again, that's what gamers have wanted. Show us your games, show us what you're working on, and put gameplay stamps on it so we know exactly what you're doing. It's something that Sony has done very well for years and years. If everybody remembers, back in 2016 and 2017, Sony showed extensive gameplay of not only God of War, but Spider-Man, Death Stranding, a couple other games that they were working on. They put gameplay front and center. Days Gone, a game that I really didn't care about, still got massive amounts of gameplay to get people hyped up for it. That's one thing that I gotta say I'm envious about Sony and PlayStation, is that they show their games, they show gameplay, and they don't hide away from anything else. They don't have cinematics going behind it. They just show you what the game is all about, what the gameplay is about, and what the game is going to look like. So I want to see that at this E3 show, and I think we're going to get that type of show from Xbox. And you know what? After last year, which was their best E3 show ever, I have to say, I'm excited to see what they have in store for us now, which I'm going to be pivoting over to what we just talked about, which is PlayStation and their state of play. I have to admit, all of their state of plays have been kind of lackluster for me. I didn't really enjoy them all that much. But this one that just happened yesterday was actually amazing. I think I gave it about an 8 out of 10, and I do have to say that the announcement of Spider-Man coming to PC is one of the best announcements I've seen. It is literally probably the last big IP that Sony owns that's not on PC, and now it's coming. A lot of people were dying on that hill saying that, you know what, it's never coming. Sony's not going to allow Spider-Man, the biggest one ever, to go on PC. That's over, folks. It's happening. And to go in it a little bit further, I'm going to read you what Sony put on their blog to announce this. Before we further discuss the PC versions of each game, I'd like to pause and express Insomniac's profound gratitude for those of you reading this post who have already purchased and played PlayStation console versions of Marvel's Spider-Man and Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. Let me tell you, there are a lot of folks to thank for your passionate support. With that in mind, I'm both ecstatic and humbled to share that Marvel's Spider-Man series now has sold through more than 33 million copies globally as of May 15, 2022. We will have more details to share about both Marvel Spider-Man PC games as we approach their respective launches. For now, we could reveal that Marvel Spider-Man Remastered will launch on PC on August 12, 2022, while Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales will launch on PC in fall 2022. Now, I know what everybody's thinking. Oh, you're going to be toxic. In reality, I'm not. I've beaten both Spider-Man games on PS4 Pro and the PS5. The PlayStation 4 that I bought was the PS4 Pro Spider-Man Limited Edition one, the nice red one that was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed my console. I played Spider-Man, God of War, Days Gone, Death Stranding, all of the games, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2, I enjoyed them on that console. And on the PS5, I've beaten almost every single exclusive minus Horizon Forbidden West. I've beaten Ratchet & Clank and Returnal, and you know what? I'm glad that they're moving over to PC. Having Spider-Man over there is going to make me buy it again, just like having God of War over on PC made me buy it again. I want to play these games on my PC with my Xbox controller. It's not a fanboy thing, it's not anything attacking anybody, it's just good business for Sony to do this. And getting Spider-Man, the best IP that they've had that sold 33 million units, I think that's more than God of War. Trust me, they know that there is a cash cow with this character in this game. And why wouldn't there be? It is one of my favorite games from last generation. They really got the feel of Spider-Man down, the combat down, the story down, the character down, the villains down, everything in there. Insomniac was just amazing on it. That's what they did with this game, and having it come to PC shows one thing. Sony's going to be doubling down on PC from here on out. And if you notice, all of these games releasing are getting that shorter time frame. Yeah, it took Spider-Man 4 years to get there, but they also just bought Nixxes, and so they're going to be working with that team, you know, the developers that have been porting these games over to PC. Now Miles Morales is coming at the end of this year, which would put it at that 2-year mark. Have you seen the trend? It's taking a lot less time for them to port these things over. And they're going to bring over Returnal, they're going to bring over Ratchet and Clank, and they're going to bring over all of their exclusive games over to PC. And I wouldn't be surprised if they get a launcher on their own, or if they use Epic Games or Steam or something to bring their games out, because we all saw the reports that Sony had. They made a lot of money on the PC front last year, and they're willing to double or triple that money this year. I'm talking $300 million is what's being reported of what they want to make in this fiscal year on PC alone. That is an insane amount of money. Spider-Man will help them get there, God of War will help them get there, and all their other exclusives that they have going, they're going to take their whole full slate of exclusives and bring it over to PC, which I am extremely excited for. And it gets me even more excited for their state of plays because they had some awesome announcements there. And then also, they were putting their games on PC. So kudos to Sony because they're fighting back with what Xbox is doing. And I have to tip my hat over to them because they got me excited for that game. And that's pretty much everything that's going on with Xbox and Sony. I know there's a lot to talk about there. And you know what? The shows are going to start next week. And that's going to be even more news dropping. So stay tuned on this channel because I'm going to be talking about everything. I'm going to go into the Game Fest. I'm going to go into what Ubisoft might announce, what Warner Brothers might announce, and of course, what Xbox is going to announce. So stay tuned here because that's what we're going to be talking about is all of these games. But let me know what you think about all this. Are you excited that Sony is dropping Spider-Man onto the PC? Are you excited that Xbox is really taking the gameplay aspect of their show seriously? And do you think we're going to see Contraband or Avowed gameplay at the showcase? Or are you much rather expecting to see Starfield, Redfall, and Forza Motorsport to show up with gameplay? For me personally, I want all of them. But what about you? So go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support helps out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest video. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there, so get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also, follow me on Xbox Live. My gamertag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. So right now, I've been playing a bunch of Sniper Elite 5. I actually jumped into a couple other games on Game Pass. I'm playing Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. I know, I've never played that, but I've been jumping into that to see how it is. The game looks stunning with everything going on the Xbox Series X. And then I tried it on my PC, and I have to say, it looks incredible on there also. That game and Ninja Theory are very talented. But I'm going to be jumping into something else, maybe Valhalla, or I don't know. I finished Sniper Elite, so I'm not too sure what I want to play next. I'm even looking at Scarlet Nexus, which is on Game Pass. I know I don't really play Japanese RPGs, but I'm thinking maybe I'm missing out on it, and I'll check it out and see how the combat is and the gameplay, and see if I enjoy that. But let me know what you're playing. Are you playing something on your Xbox Series X, your Series S, or are you on your PS5, or are you on your PC playing something? Let me know down below, because that's what we're here for. It's Talk Games. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.